Well, believe it or not, folks, I've actually got what I take to be some good news here. You can take a guess at where I'm sitting. I'm looking at the pond. I'm sitting down in the cut. And I came out here tonight with the plan that I was going to grab a couple of mats and I was going to map my way down the road to get back into where the pond is at. And then I was going to come backwards on the mats and I was going to shave off about 6 inches of the slop on top. Well, it turns out the slop on top is exactly what I thought it was and what I told people it was. It's just right on top. And yes, it is enough that, you know, a pickup truck would get stuck, a dump truck would get stuck because it just can't get traction on the slippery, slimy clay. But I'm sitting on solid ground. Yeah, my track's, you know, mushed in a couple inches, but then it hits solid clay, dry clay. So what I'm doing now is I'm actually not even on my mats, and I'm just back dragging my way. I drove into where the pond's at, and now I'm just back dragging my way out. And you can see some of this goop right in here, real sloppy, wet stuff. But then right there in front of it is dry clay that I just scraped off. So I'm just working my way backwards, kind of scraping. You can see where this kind of sloughed off when all the water was in here, so I'm kind of cleaning that up, making this a good, clean cut. Again, so you know, so the dump truck can get through here. Let me rev up here a little bit and spin it around. This gives you kind of a better idea. You can see where that side sloughed in and this side sloughed in when I drove through how I busted down. Now I'm about 10 foot wide, so you know, a dump truck can fit through my tracks easy enough, but I'm gonna go through and just go ahead and clean it out, and I'm just stacking it up here on the side. But you can see where I drove through right there. And it may look like deep ruts, but it's really not. Just a couple inch, maybe, at most. And really, a dump truck could drive through where I just drove through now. Now that I've got the slop out of the way, it's dry clay, and you can drive on it. So, anyway, I'm just going to kind of back drag this a little bit tonight. And today's Wednesday. I'll be out here again all day Friday. And I got my dozer coming back. And I think I'm gonna try to see, you know, possibly I can actually get a truck in here, and we can do another day of trucking and digging. But what I really want to do is get all this part of the road built up about another foot if I can, just so that it drains off a little better. Maybe it won't hold this slop on it the next time we get a big rain. And that's something I can't decide yet if I'm gonna try to do it with myself and just sling myself some dirt with the excavator and then push it with the dozer, or if I want to try to get a truck in here and do a little bit of everything. So kind of see how it shapes up tonight with how well this goes as far as back dragging the slop. So this is really interesting, actually. This is some of the quicksand materials. Right underneath my bucket is darn near liquid water. But looking at it, it looks solid. You could walk across it. Probably couldn't drive across, but you could walk across it and it feels solid. But break through, a little bit right there, just sloughed off. You break through and it's just liquid. Now this clay here was stuff that was in piles, it wasn't packed, and so a lot of moisture got down inside of it. It's very wet. But if I just scrape down, just even right there, and break through into fresh clay, it's dry and solid. So, well, I guess I boxed myself in, but I'll show you what I did with my little road over here. Okay, there we go. So you can see my little road where it was just a sloppy, wet mess a little bit ago. Honestly, it's, you know, especially if the dozer slicks it off, it's solid and good to go. So, talked to my dozer guy, told him what I think I'd like to do. Of course, he says he's good to go. So now I just got to find a truck that's willing to gamble and see if they can drive on it. And if I do, we're going to be hauling some dirt.